know, I've been told I make an above satisfactory Bangkok sunrise.
I like that, but I need something stronger.
So can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you do anything? Just because you're here, like, literally every day.
I was a film reviewer once, a very long time ago. Very long time ago.
What happened?
As part of this duo, we review movies so hard, so goddamn hard. Then one day, crossed the wrong mouse. Saw his new Disney movie that came out. Oh my god, it was a terrible day. They put poison on my popcorn. Our popcorn. Instead of butter. Thank god I was diabetic.
Jesus Christ, on ice skates.
Yep.
You know, you wouldn't be the first person to lose somebody to the movie Planes.
Again.
Fucking Dane Cook.
Just god-awful movie. You know why they didn't put it out on direct-to-DVD. But no, I made a vow, a promise, never to review movies ever again.
All that aside, reviewing movies does kind of sound like fun.
Damn it, man! It's too dangerous. I made a vow, a sacred promise. I'm not gonna do it again.
Come on.
Alright. Okay, let's go.
Let's go see X-Men.
Shouldn't you close the bar first?
Dude, it's 9 in the morning on a Tuesday. You're just a fucking alcoholic.
Oh yeah. Alright, let's go. Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. That is a blue waffle that I would smother in syrup.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Ah, J-Law. She did it. Welcome to On the Rocks. My name is Paul.
How did all these people get here? There's cameras, this setup here? How'd you do this? We were gone for like 2 hours and once you didn't... How? How'd you do this?
Got a cell phone and friends. Fucking drunk.
I'm a little drunk.
I know, I'm a bartender and you're here every day. Well, on that note, this is On the Rocks where we talk about movies. Today we saw Xmen-Days of Future Past, or XDOF for short. The film is as follows. Juno sends Jean Valjean back in time to save Captain Picard and Catwoman from the destroyer robots from the movie Thor. He does this by teaming up with Wesley Gibson and David the Android to stop Katniss Everdeen from killing Tyrion Lannister. Dave, what did you think of X-Men: Days of Future Past?
I really enjoyed it.
Son of a bitch.
I liked it a lot. Did you have a problem?
No, actually, it's funny. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite X movie, but it's definitely in the top tier. It's definitely one of the better ones.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the better ones. I still really enjoy it too. But I really like this movie. It feels like the Avengers.
Of their universe.
Of their universe, yeah.
Because it's the meeting of these groups of people that you never expected to meet. And I gotta say, this is something that's kind of unprecedented. Because they're taking this idea, this is a sequel and a prequel and a sequel.
Yeah.
It's a sequel to the prequel and a prequel to the original, but a sequel to the original.
It's a little confusing, but...
It's cool they use time travel to justify all that, though.
Yeah. And it's really cool in the beginning, like the first 10 minutes, they set up everything.
And they kill everyone.
They kill everyone.
Not a spoiler, it's the first...
It's the first 10 minutes.
Scene.
And they bring everybody back. But, what they do is, like, in the first 10 minutes, they just cram all the exposition down your throat, and they get it started right away. It's like, okay, this is how they do this, and this is how this is going to go down. And we're at this place, and we're going to break Magneto out, and then boom! We're going to go into the meat and the heart of everything.
Yeah, but what I appreciated was none of that seemed rushed or forced. It was done in a pretty effective way. I feel like it was handled well.
It was handled well, but I can't agree with you that it didn't feel rushed. Because it felt rushed to me. It was just kind of like, let's get all this stuff out of the way pronto. Let's not make the audience think about it. Because when you start thinking about it, it's really dumb. It's really dumb.
Yeah, but everything with time travel, with the exception of maybe the movie Sunshine, that's kind of time travel. They're jumping around in time, but that's more of a matter of speed. Neil deGrasse Tyson will explain it. Read a book. I insult our future audience.
Yes.
No, we love you guys. Except for you Andrew, fuck you.
Which Andrew?
I don't know, but somewhere there's an Andrew who's freaking out right now.
Oh, right.
He's like, oh, I'm not gonna watch these guys.
Fuck him.
They said fuck me.
Fuck Andrew.
But back to the movie,
and
and
back to
enough
the
on
movie.
Andrew.
Yes. You don't want to give him time.
No, fuck
No.
that. But in all seriousness, I like how when they open up the movie, there are great parallels with the original movie
Oh yeah.
and the Holocaust. That visually speaking, they really nail a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff, right down to the branding, which is obviously
In that opening.
They did.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the opening, it's like the scene with young Eric going through, the camps and
which
stuff like
I
that.
hold that up as one of the single most effective openings to a comic book movie ever.
And they kind of do that here. They kind of emulate that here.
Yeah.
I mean, not to that degree, but like you understand what's going on. They tell it in a great language. It's like it's a better parallel than most other sequels and prequels of that nature.
Yeah, and it's great just because it's the realization of what Eric was always warning everyone was going to happen, and that's kind of a dark,
Yeah.
interesting message to send. Like, hey, the bad guy was right.
Yeah.
This happened. He knew it was going to happen, and like something I always loved about Magneto is he's the one villain, in my opinion.
He's not really. I don't know if you can call him a villain.
Quote villain. I
Quote,
don't necessarily
yeah.
agree that he's a villain,
Yeah.
but you entirely understand his position.
Yeah.
You get why he feels that way.
Yeah.
He's right. I mean, it is absolutely a parallel for the whole Malcolm X, Martin Luther King thing. And what I thought was the greatest indication of that was X-Men 3. Spoilers for X-Men 3 if you haven't seen it, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Charles Xavier dies, and instead of Magneto being like,
He was
that
like
real
really.
shit, he was upset.
He was really upset.
Yeah,
he was
that
like
line.
heartbroken.
Yeah, that line was like, my greatest regret is that he had to die for a dream to live. It's like, oh shit, there was like a respect and a
Yeah,
friendship.
there's always a respect, and there's always something there. And I really felt that in X-Men First Class, and I really felt that in this one too. Especially on the plane scene, right after...
They break him out of jail.
Yeah, right after they break him out of jail, and he gives that speech to him, and he's like taking the plane down. It was like really, like...
You get the anger there, that he was wholeheartedly concerned with his race, the mutants, and that was his one concern. It was not a selfish thing.
Yeah.
It was like, he was done with his selfish quest. He got his revenge, and now his quest is to ensure the race survives, to ensure his people go on.
And I think what I really liked about this movie was that even though it's like dark in tone, it's very hopeful.
Yes.
There's this lighter side that's like prevailing throughout until like.
And you know how we know the movie's hopeful? They take the darkest character that exists in that universe,
and
Wolverine,
make him a mentor, a guiding figure.
He's the heart and soul of this entire film.
I know.
And it's just crazy.
It's incredible, and that's what I probably liked about it the most. And I love, because I went back and I saw it again.
As did I.
In this,
which is
in this small amount of time.
Yeah, we saw it twice, not together.
No.
We saw it together the first time, and then we went to, don't think about the logistics.
No, don't think about that.
Do you hear that? It's the fourth wall crumbling.
But no, I saw it again, and I noticed like little things. Like towards the end, he's using his claw. And what's that?
It's great.
Right. But he was like trying to use his claws, but they weren't metal.
They weren't effective.
They weren't. They weren't effective
do a lot
at
of
all.
Really funny things.
And
He
that
goes
was
to the metal detector. It's like,
yeah, and he's like looking at him.
yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Not quite used to this.
That's good.
But there's also an element kind of reminiscent of The Hangover, of this mystery of like, he doesn't have any memories of that.
No.
So when he wakes up in the 70s, he's like,
where am I?
What?
I wasn't screwing this lady.
This is awkward. But, I mean, how much more can we talk about before getting into spoilers?
Well, let's talk about one thing that was very highly debatable. Quicksilver.
I think the internet officially owes him an
a
apology.
big apology.
Because he stole the show.
He did. And it was a shame that he wasn't in it more.
Honestly, I like that he was limited because I feel like, you wanted more. And I would rather
definitely.
us leave him wanting more than be like, okay, like enough. Like,
yeah.
Dude, don't get me wrong, the costume,
it's
not great.
Pretty
stupid. But his performance is
great.
Hilarious.
It was
he nails
fantastic.
it. And the way they portray his powers, his one scene, both times I saw it in the short amount of time, everyone
was dying laughing. Yeah.
Because it's not enough for him to just have the powers and be good at it. You get the sense that he fucking enjoys it. He loves having his powers. where he gets a kick out of it, he's having fun, and he's not taking it seriously. Oh, we're all about to die. I'm just gonna done. It's like not even a big deal.
It was so like that scene when he's like there in that little kitchen place. Biggest laughs. Probably that's when I started to really enjoy the movie. Because after you get over that first 10, 15 minute hurdle of like all that exposition, it finally starts to like be like this awesome summer blockbuster.
For me, I think it's the scene where Charles Xavier says "fuck you" to Wolverine. Sorry, "fuck off" to Wolverine.
Yeah.
Which, that was a great little callback to the cameo.
I didn't think.
Because I was wondering, like, are they going to address the fact
that
hey,
they knew
like 10 years ago? So.
Yeah.
But something that initially was a problem for me going into the movie was I made the mistake of watching a clip from the movie, which don't do that. Don't do that. It was masochistic on my part, and I regret it. But I was confused because in all the trailers, Xavier's walking, he's in a wheelchair. He's walking, he's in a wheelchair. Now, my theory for why he was walking was that he wasn't actually in those scenes. He was just mentally projecting himself, as Charles has done before. Not the case. I watched a clip where he says, like, oh yeah, no, magic juice, I can walk.
Juice.
And initially I was like, that's dumb.
That is dumb.
That's dumb, and I don't feel like it's connected to the plot.
Yeah, it's gonna muddle up everything.
But when you see the movie,
it totally works.
It works because it makes sense. It's not just I need another shot because I gotta walk for the scene. It is a gradual gradient of like walking to not walking, but there's a consequence.
Yeah. There's a big consequence, and it changes his like
whole character.
Yeah.
Because now it's a choice. It's like, do I choose to be this person or do I not? And it kind of takes away his god powers. Like, he can't just freeze everything and like get away with things. Like, he has to kind of deal with things the way a normal person would. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, that was really great. And I was, when you told me that, I was like, oh no, that's it right there. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Who are you talking to?
They left him for dead. They killed his family. They killed his dog. They killed his dog's family. Next Hanukkah, David Charles is the Wanderer. Rated X.
Man, David, that was a fine product that paid us.
Great product, yeah, I guess. I didn't really see anything.
I didn't need it. Put it in.
Yeah, let's talk about spoilers. Well, before we talk about spoilers,
recommendations.
Let's recommend.
All right. So, recommendations.
Yes. I recommend it. I highly recommend it.
Go see it.
Go see it.
See X Stop in a theater. Don't worry about IMAX. Don't worry about 3D.
It's totally serviceable in a regular theater.
Yeah. The scene with Quicksilver alone is worth seeing it with a crowd.
Yes, it's incredible.
Also, so much fan service. Speaking of fan service, we're going to get into that right now. So, spoilers alert from this point on for X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Big spoiler alert.
You've got 10 seconds. Bruce
over.
Willis is dead. Not in real life.
I hope so.
In certain films.
In certain films.
So,
So,
can you believe they killed that little shit from Batman Begins?
they killed. God damn it.
Okay, so, but in all seriousness, they killed everyone.
They kill everybody.
And not like clean, like, no,
they
they opened by ripping off Iceman's head
and
then stepping on it and impaling people and
Impaling
Storm gets it. Wouldn't it? Bishop's head just explodes and eyeballs shoot out?
They rip Colossus in two.
Yeah.
They just rip him in two and they just leave him there and just...
Ito gets, not impaled, but
He
slightly
gets, like,
eviscerated.
yeah.
He gets stabbed pretty bad by some debris. It's like, there's a sense of like shit has really hit the fan that you don't get with a lot of franchises.
Yeah.
Like, there's just this scope of like, no, like, dude, we're really fucked. There's like in trouble, kind of screwed, full on boned, and then just prison fucked. And that's where this movie's at.
They just take that one guy, actual Tonto, and they just take his head in front of the
in the
center.
beam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
just gone.
You know?
And they show it, the whole thing. They're just going in
I
there.
think they chop off Sunspot's arm. Like,
Oh,
it's intense, but
yeah.
I really
Was not expecting that.
no, I wasn't expecting that. And one thing that I love visually at the end when Magneto is using the rebar and he's stabbing it into Wolverine, he's threading it through his body.
Yes.
It's almost the exact reverse of when Magneto
he
ripped the adamantium out of him.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
And
a
I
really clever
always
play on
wanted to
that.
see something like that, and that was really cool. And it just hurt. It just hurt. It hurt me. It was like going through it, and like you
Yeah.
hear it, and he picks them up. Oh.
Absolutely. But one of my favorite things is how this movie completely disregards
They hit the
X-Men
reset
3. X-Men 3, no longer a thing.
Origins.
They never even filmed Origins.
Oh, yeah, they never-
talked about it.
they
That
tried
movie
to
fell
do it,
apart. It
yeah.
never got them. It didn't happen! So, the one bummer is that we lost the Wolverine, because I really loved the
I enjoyed
Wolverine.
that. I really enjoyed that movie.
So I'm wondering, is that like Asian dude with his robotic samurai adamantium armor still alive in that you know, it doesn't
I
matter.
think
I'll get to
maybe.
that.
I think maybe the beginning when he's in Japan might have happened, but then everything else has yet to happen, or it might not happen like that.
Yeah, because I mean he still saved that guy's life, but Jean Grey.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
dead.
how about the ending scene? Walks through, he succeeded, everyone's back. You get Gapface, what's her name again? It's escaping
Gapface?
me. Gapface, Anna Paquin. She's
Anna
there.
Paquin's Gapface.
She's there for 2 seconds, but she's with Bobby. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, cool. And,
And
then,
Colossus
his
is being the
bodyguard.
bodyguard to Kitty Pryde while Tisha.
listen, dude, she came out. I don't know how like open they are there. Maybe there's like a hate crime issue, which is a little ironic because they're mutants, but that's not the point.
Yeah. You're a woman, a mutant, and a lesbian? You might as well die. You have no rights.
Yeah. So Storm is alive too, and this is what I thought
Everybody.
was awesome. Wolverine sees Jean Grey and he's like, she's alive. She's gonna cause pleasure. And he goes and Scott's there,
Scott.
and I thought it was so great that they brought Scott back.
It's
because-
like James Marsden back. Yes, that's.
I wonder why they killed James Marsden off screen in X-Men 3. Let's see, who directed X-Men 3? Brett Ratner. Who didn't direct it? Bryan Singer. What did Bryan Singer direct? Oh, Superman Returns. Who was in that? James Marsden. Awkward.
Yes,
So
very.
that's probably why that happened. But it was nice for them to acknowledge, like, yeah, Brett Ratner fucked up.
Yeah.
Don't
third
worry
one,
about it.
Screw the third one.
None of that happened. And what's really cool is now Wolverine has this whole new relationship
Yeah.
with Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
They have this
a
new
very strong. Yeah.
Exactly, and nobody knows about it, just they know. Like, that's a really cool little thing for them to have.
And that was a really nice wrap up.
Yeah.
A great wrap up.
You know, it was full of heart, which you don't always
Yeah,
get
I don't get-
from
yeah.
a movie like this.
And we'll talk about like the two main things, like the very end, the end, and then the end credits thing.
Before we get to that, though, we'd be remiss if we didn't at least briefly discuss Peter Dinklage's role.
Oh yeah, he was phenomenal.
It was really refreshing to see an LP cast and not have that be a part of his character. The fact that
Yeah,
he's a little
that they-
person has no consequence. To
Yeah,
who
they
he
don't
is.
mention
It's
it.
not acknowledged.
They
It
don't-
doesn't
yeah.
have to be.
Yeah.
It's great because he's got some serious acting chops.
So much charisma.
He's so much better than his role in Elf.
yes.
Where literally
by
his whole
far.
character was, look at the tiny person, it's a movie
And-
called
yeah.
Elf, you know. No offense to Jon Favreau, listen, the joke worked, it was a kid's movie, but
It's a
it's
good
like,
movie.
it was just nice. And
Yeah.
when I first saw the movie, it was great, you know, everybody was so on board. The second time I saw it, a couple people laughed when he was on screen, which
For
is
my
like,
both, nobody left.
good.
Nobody even.
Or should they?
So let's just talk about like
The
those.
very
last- yeah. They pull Wolverine out of the water. He gets thrown into like this little lake, and he's pulled up, and that's when he went back in time and he doesn't remember anything.
Yeah,
Stryker's there,
And
and
I'm on board right until the last shot.
yeah, because he's like, I'm gonna take him and do whatever.
Because we're like,
you know.
oh, Weapon
Okay,
X,
so this
alright.
will go into
Yeah.
Wolverine. The second movie and stuff like that. And then at the right before the credits roll, the odds change and it's Mystique, and I don't get that.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because she doesn't know. All she knows
But I
is
feel like when I saw it a second time, when she goes into the
maybe
room,
it's that she
there
knows
was
that
a
they're going
thing
to
that said-
experiment on him, and she's like trying to save him, but then she
I
doesn't
don't
really
know.
know him. So why would she? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And there was no real There was like stuff with Magneto, but there was never really stuff with Mystique and Wolverine. That's why I'm very confused as to where they're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I don't quite understand, but hey, that's what
Hey, that's what's gonna happen. We'll can't wait to see what they do.
So the post-credit scene.
The post-credit scene.
Did you know that the premiers were built by a blue person?
No.
A BP, and his 4 horsemen of
The Apocalypse.
Oh, I wonder what that guy's name is. It's probably Andrew.
Yeah. Fuck you.
But no, the Apocalypse was established, so that's very clearly leading into
the next movie.
X-Men Apocalypse.
I don't know anything about that. I was kind of like, oh my god, what is this? And then I remember that it's Apocalypse, and I got to read up on it. But in the beginning, I was like, what is this? I don't know what this is.
I think that's
but
what
I know
most
it pertains to the next
general audiences are not going to know.
But see, a lot of, like, when we first saw it, nobody, like, a lot of people just got up and left. Because it's not a...
You think people would be trained at this point, like, no, you
But it's not a traditional Marvel movie.
It's not, but I don't think most people know that. I don't think most people know that this is Fox, not Disney/Marvel Studios.
It's true.
We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
But we're nerds. So, yeah, I mean,
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
I want to see where they take it. You know, it's nice. I feel like it's got a breath of fresh air. We got Ratner out of there. You know, Bryan Singer's back touching kids. It's
Triumphant return, Bryan Singer.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Now, if you could just get the court
screwing
thing
people
taken care of. But you know, separate the artist from the art.
Yeah.
It worked for Roman Polanski, and it worked for Mel Gibson,
And Woody Allen.
and Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
And but not so much Wesley Snipes, because he
didn't really touch anybody.
No, but he evaded taxes, which is just as fucked up.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
You know what? I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah.
Don't avoid taxes and don't diddle kids.
And definitely see Xmen-Days of Future Past.
Oh, can you tell we've been drinking? You know what I just realized, Dave? Neither of us have any personality, and if we want this thing to succeed, we're gonna need a gimmick. And being that we're at a bar, I know I'm gonna make you a drink. Get yourself a shot glass, a bottle of Jameson. Pour yourself a nice, healthy shot. You're gonna take 3 sips. Sip number 1. It's gonna be new. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be delicious. Sip number 2, it's gonna be even better. Sip number 3, Brett Ryder's gonna come in and spit in the shot glass. It's not gonna be good anymore. So that's no good. You're gonna let that sit for about 10 years. You come back in, pour some delicious Coca-Cola into a glass of ice, and then you're gonna top that off with a little bit of Kraken. Oh, what's this? It's new. It's fresh. It's all happy again, and everything is great in the world. You're doing a place there. Now, you're gonna take this. You're gonna drop it in there. You know what this is? This is Days of Future Past. I know.
That's strong.
As it should be.
Yes.
And on that note, I'm Paul.
And I'm Dave.
And we're on the roll.